Thank you once again. I'm here with Bernard Kigwa. And Bernard Kigwa, we always call him researcher, we call him forester, we call him environmentalist. And for all the years that we have known him, we have interacted with him. We consult a lot. He has a lot of information on matters environmental conservation because he's an expert or a consultant in that area of environmental conservation and climate change. By the way, Bernard Kigwa has an experience of over 40 years in forestry research. So when I'm seated with him here, when we are experiencing the floods we are seeing and the heavy downfall, I'm going to tap the best knowledge, and not me alone. I'm with you here so that we can share the knowledge, we can understand, we can know how we found ourselves here and how we can find some exits for the days to come. Bernard.
Thank you.
How are you?
Fine.
Yes.
I'm fine.
Is it raining where you've come from?
Heavily. We usually say cats and dogs.
Yes, cats and dogs.
That's what is happening.
Where do they call it cats and dogs? Why not anything else?
I don't know really.
And you know, in the my mother tongue, when we want to swear that whatever happens, we say, even if it rains, razor blades.
That's true.
But does it mean Muzungu? The white person who came up with that statement fears the cats and the dogs.
I don't know, but I don't know whether the cats and dogs is really equivalent to the razor blades or what. I'm not very sure. In fact, this rains. It's funny that last week, last Saturday, I was coming from Kitui.
Yes.
And it's pouring heavily. And it has claimed 2 lives so far in Kitui.
Oh,
otherwise, the rains are too heavy.
It has claimed several lives, yes. And I always ask myself, I don't want to ask whether it is normal. I always ask myself, was it expected? Is it the rain that has problems, or is it our preparations, or is it our perception? But now that you are here, when it comes around this time, what comes to your mind, you as an expert in the environmental matters?
You see, from time immemorial,
yes,
we have been having rains and we have been having seasons.
Yes.
But right now, we have a problem with our climate pattern.
Yes.
Climate patterns have changed, rainy seasons have changed, and this is due to our own making. People have deviated from the norm, that is plundering the environment. If I wish, and I think if we kept this world the way it was from the old times, even in the biblical times, we would not have been having these blunders. Otherwise, I think some are of our own making, because our topic today, let's be global warming and climate change.
Global warming.
Because global warming is not necessarily here in Kenya, but it cuts across all the countries. And one of the issues which involves global warming is due to emission of gases, the greenhouse gases.
So now I invite my viewer to be with us here to understand this kind of downpour that you're experiencing, and we are now looking at it in a larger, bigger umbrella of global warming. I welcome you, my dear viewer. My name is 𝐂𝐋𝐈𝐌𝐍𝐆. So what is global warming? Or
global warming, in a nutshell, is the change of the patterns that we usually have, which are supposed to be normal, but they have been abnormal due to our actions. That is to do with the production of petroleum, the gases, and when you talk of the greenhouse gases, we usually call the greenhouse gas effect. What we mean by greenhouse effect is those greenhouse houses are the nitrogen, carbon dioxide, methane. All these are caused by petroleum products, the coal. And when these gases are emitted, they are trapped in a layer in the atmosphere, which causes the greenhouse gas effect, and of course, the global warming gets in place. Otherwise, you also hear of people talking of the rising level of seas and oceans, which is also caused by these greenhouse gases.
Allow me to take you back a few steps. You know, when you talk about greenhouse effect, the minute you mentioned about greenhouse, there's a farmer who is doing it, who is doing his or her farming in a greenhouse. They want to understand: are you talking about that kind of a greenhouse?
To a layman, like the farmer, our earth is like the greenhouse which the farmers usually make. But these are miniature greenhouses which are just used for some time. But for us, the earth being a greenhouse, all these gases being emitted will cause some effects to our lives, to the plants, and to everything.
You mean greenhouse gas effect is about the gases emitted
yes.
from the earth?
From the earth, yes.
Oh, okay. So even you and I and our viewer here are within greenhouse.
We are in a very big greenhouse in the world.
Okay.
And of course, emissions of the greenhouses happens everywhere, and that is being caused by all of us. And also this takes effect with the climate change.
Yes.
Because the greenhouse gas or the greenhouse the greenhouse and the climate change usually go hand in hand. When you talk of one, you can't leave the other outside.
Yes.
Yeah. Because the causes, the effects are almost equally the same.
Yes. You have mentioned that these problems are of our own making. You mean when I'm suffering from the floods, I should not point fingers at anyone? I should point at myself first?
Well, partly yes, partly no. Because what we are doing right now, infrastructure is one of the problems. When you talk of, say, for example, in Nairobi or in Thika, you get so many buildings have been made. The sewer systems are being constructed. But those who are in charge of opening the drainage and everything usually don't follow up the rules of nature. And of course, nature will retaliate because all this water having been poured down and there is no outlet, this will cause floods. And in fact, you have seen even cars, people are dying because of these floods. And my view, half a foot water running when it is pouring, take care even if you are driving, even if you are on your foot.
Half a foot?
Half a foot, that is 6 inches. It will take your car and it sweep
6
you.
6 inches is...
Yeah. Then let's come to the river now, the river itself.
Yes.
Don't try to imagine that you can cross some running water.
Yes.
Water is very dangerous and there is a good master but also a very bad servant if not properly utilized or taken care of. Yes.
You said
6 feet. I mean 6 inches.
6 inches.
Yes. Don't try to joke
6
with water.
inches is
you
these
see what?
2 fingers.
Yeah. You see what? When this 6 inches of water is coming, you never know where that water the water source is coming. Another 6 inches will also fall up, and that might even end up to a foot. Because you don't know the source of the water, where it's coming.
I get the point.
You might say, because this is 6 feet, let me walk over the floor, or let me drive through. But of course, coincidentally, you might be driving, and coincidentally, that's the time you are driving or you are walking through that water. Another source of water. I mean, not
could
another
be
source.
From the rains or
from
other floods
from
elsewhere.
Or probably the system, they might open up a drainage by that time you are doing so, and it will come and sweep you.
So the safest thing to do when the rain starts and you are on the road,
well,
when you are on the move,
just park your car, leave it there. Don't stay in your car. Get to a safer place. If you can.
Yes.
And go to a safer place, and then wait for the rains to subside. Yeah.
That's a very important point. Don't walk, don't move if the water is already 6 inches. And you know 6 inches even for a wheel, for a car wheel is not very high.
You see, people just do imagine and people just think they are clever. That's 6 inches. Ikiongezwa 6 inches ingine inatoka huko juu itakuwa futi moja. Na hiyo mguu hata nini namna hiyo. And probably you not engage a good gear to take you off. It will save you.
Inaweza leta shida. You said you were coming from Kitui the other day.
Yes.
Sometimes we hear that they experience floods even without rains on that other side.
What usually happens, there are some hills. And when it rains, you see people in the dry areas, not necessarily even in Kitui, they usually rely on water, which is scooped from the seasonal rivers.
Yes.
But when it rains, that water comes in a very, very serious speed, such that it will just sweep you. The infrastructure you have, the bridges, are poorly done and well. If the bridges are not even well marked,
it's not a continuous challenge to them.
They just say, imagine ya kidogo tutaenda na tutaachwa na hiyo
tutapambana nayo
pole pole.
So on this matter of global warming, you mentioned about greenhouse effects, you mentioned about the emissions, and you said in a layman's understanding. So in a layman's understanding, what is my contribution towards that problem? And we always ask ourselves, from where I sit, from where I stand, from where I'm watching, from where I live, from where I work, is there anything I can do? Because if I do a little bit on myself, you and the other person will be out of the mess.
Yeah, and of course people take it lightly. One of the main things to mitigate the greenhouse gases and the greenhouse effect and the climate change issues is deforestation was one of the worst causes of the greenhouse gases and the effects, the climate issues. So what we have done is that we have destroyed our vegetation. People who are in the Central Highlands and in the West, they are not as badly as people in the dry areas.
Central Highlands ni kama wapi na wapi?
When we talk of Central Highlands, we talk of Mount Kenya area, Murang'a, Nyandarua. Those are the Central Highlands of Kenya. But when we got the western side, that is the Kakamega, Rift Valley. Those are not as badly off. And when you talk of tree growing or tree planting with them, they are not as serious as people. They are not as serious as affected by the like the people in the dry lands, because one thing they have got firewood in plenty, and grazing is also not a problem to them. But when you go to the eastern side or the northeastern side, call them the Ukambani region, Garissa, Mandela, all those dry areas. People have seriously affected the environment because of tree cutting, because of charcoal burning, because of overgrazing. All this has checked the effects of climate change and the greenhouse gas effect. And therefore, you have to recommend for the thought of people doing tree growing. Because when we always talk of tree planting, you plant a tree, you leave your goat there, it is eaten. So let's talk of tree growing in those areas.
You plant a tree, you
leave it. The next time, because termite is no problem. We can the researchers will do, but you can't research on grazing. Once a goat is left, the camel or donkey is left, it just browse the plants. So grow a tree so that you grow with it up to the final end. Otherwise, in the dry areas, free grazing or free range grazing is the worst problem, because I've stayed in Ukambani for more than 30 years, the Kitui region, and I can't account for even 10% of the trees I have planted. Otherwise, it is a serious problem because once the people have harvested their crops, so that is baazi, dhoroko, the few corns or the few maize they have, wakitoa tu mbuzi ngieni. Mbuzi najua nyumbani zitarudi tu kuingia kwa boma zao. Hata hakuna mtu wa kulisha.
Mbuzi atakula tu.
Mbuzi ajua ati mti ni ilipandwa kwa sababu ya shida.
Ati ni ya kegoa.
Na hii
ni ya mvua. Hii ni ya kutusaidia.
Hii ni ya kivuli.
Hii inajua tu iko na.
Kwanza miti ndio iko na shida kwa sababu ndio iko green wakati hiyo kiangazi iko. Sasa huyu ndio chakula.
Na sasa hiyo mti ilipandwa after research ikajulikana ile itakaa vizuri
na ile inafaa kupandwa huko na ndio ikatakua mzuri huko.
Yeah. Sorry.
I've always been trying to reforest or do the afforestation to these areas. But only a few adopters who have taken the tree growing seriously. Others are jokers. And I think I don't know whether you can reverse that trend because, of course, the IGAs of those people, income generating activities, are only two: either livestock keeping or charcoal burning. Otherwise, I don't know tutafaulu namna gani. Not unless miujiza. Watu wanakaa kama Masai wanajua mbuzi ndio. Hata afadhali Mkamba aone mbuzi yake inakufia hapo lakini sio kuuza.
Lakini nauliza hatuwezi wafungia hao mbuzi tu badala ya mbuzi atembee kilometers looking for food. Tumfungie sisi tutembee tumletee chakula.
Hiyo itawezekana kweli? Utatafuta chakula yako na utafuta mbuzi? Kwa sababu hata ni shida.
Najua if we work together towards that.
No, what we have been doing in those areas. We are recommending farmers and those people, the herders, to grow fodder crops like the moa. The moa is Acacia totilis. The pods are very nutritious to your goats, and wherever a moa or Acacia totilis is growing, goats are benefiting from that tree, from the pods, from the shade of that tree. And if I tend to think, if people agree to plant such trees, you even check the browsing of the other trees. Because of course, not all trees are palatable to the animals.
I believe in transformations, and now that I know you travel a lot, why don't we look for partners who can join hands and help us see how, after we have planted the fodder, when we look at the fodder vegetation, then we try to see how we can do zero grazing of the boris. Bori is called what in?
Yeah, good.
In Kamba.
Mboi.
Mboi.
This is the Mboi.
We see we see how we can zero graze Mboi, so that we can make our that so-called dry area.
Of course, it can be done. But this one is.
I'm sure we still have many partners, even in Japan, where I know you frequent. We can have dams done for them to water the crops, water the vegetation, the fodder, and also have enough water for their households and for the goats. And we reduce hiyo kazi yao ya kutembea sana. Unaona? Reduce kazi yao kutembea sana.
Nakubali.
Watoto waende shule, hizo buzi hata zitanona zaidi. We can come up with good breeders that they can start experiencing bigger goats. I think when we were all growing up, we saw even our forefathers, our grandfathers, you know, those days also having the hump cows, and by and by we have seen transformations.
What I said to think, that issue, the angle you're approaching with it is multi-sectoral. That would mean with you can partner. Caro, which is an agriculture-based organization, carefully can research on the best trees to do, and then of course. I tend to think the leaders we have could be a bit serious because water is the most limiting factor in the dry areas. If only we could dig and make shallow wells or water pans. That water can be heavily be used by the animals we are talking about. And of course, why not try with you? Make a proposal.
I will. Why not?
Make a proposal.
Yes. Yes. That's why I went to a community development class.
And in any case,
yes.
I might come being very handy.
Yes.
Now that my last course in Japan was a master's degree in global environmental conservation.
Yes.
That is my area.
Get me your teacher, one of your lecturers.
Exactly. I'll get in touch with him.
Yes. With you. And now that they know that you went to Kambani, and those are the issues that, I mean, we cannot be trying to develop and forge ahead when we still have some of us still dragging behind and struggling the way we did so many decades.
That is very true.
And actually, with you having stayed there for your entire youth, I think
exactly. That's where I've grown.
That is where you have worked, and so you understand those problems better. Those are issues that we can handle.
In fact, I've worked in two difficult places.
Yes.
When I was working with the Kefri, for almost all of my life, I've been working in Kambani, and for some small time, about 3 years, I worked also in Garissa, and they are sharing the same issues, challenges, and whatever. So I wish we can overcome this thing time and over, and we can.
I also visited Samburu, but mine was holiday. It was not that long. But I found no men at home. I found ladies. They told us men and boys. Not kutafuta kibarua. It is the same challenge you're talking about in those. That is part of that region. They had gone with the animals.
Exactly.
They told us they had gone with the animals. So even when they need milk from those cows and goats, a boy is sent maybe towards evening or early the following day to come with a kibuyu of milk from very far. Very far. They have traveled very far.
That is very true.
For the whole week that I stayed there, I was with ladies only. Old women, younger, small girls. I didn't see a boy. I also maybe one or two from a shopping center.
I also did some research, small research on the occasions I'm talking about in Samburu. It's called Pahali inaitwa Lerogi. And the same issues you are talking about is the same. Hakuna wanaume ama vijana kwa nyumba.
That should not happen in this era.
Then what the other thing I'm thinking, or I would think of, and it can also be brought on the board on the issues you are talking about, is trying to get bee forage plants. Honey from the dry areas. And of course, bees are pollinators and they are very important. Without the bees, and research has been known that without the bees for 5 years, sisi wote tutakufa. Tutakuwa tumeaga.
Ulisema sisi ukiona bee iheshimu.
Uipatie heshima.
Unaona ajoki.
Umetigera. Well,
ati ulisema kazi ya bee ni gani? Bee, how do we survive on bees, all of us?
Sisi kwa sababu pollination. Unaona kitu kama mahindi, maharagwe, mention it. Hata kutoka hapa nje ukiona mti kama ile na mbii yako hapo. Anatafuta chakula
ama hii mti yangu.
In the course of kutafuta hiyo asali yake kutengeneza. Anatoa anakuza hiyo mti, anapelekea hiyo pollen kwa mti mwingine na inazaa. Otherwise without that unaweza kuchukua vumbi ya mahindi moja ya one bean upelekea ile nyingine.
Hapana.
Akona kibarua ngumu. I tell you.
So sisi zote tunakuraga joke.
Joke ndio tunategemea. Ni vile tu watu wana take for granted.
Kazi yake moja ni hiyo pollination. Akishafanya pollination, tunapata chakula.
Asali.
Na tunapata
propolis, niko vitu mingi, products za bees.
Now I'm saying from yeye kubeba
pollen hiyo
anahakikisha wamekutana jiani
wote wamezaa sio mkule.
Because mtu anaweza jiuliza joke bees other than honey, na hiyo unasema propolis na magua na kareka kitu kingine kenyuka lita 5 na lita 10, isipokuwa hiyo anajiuliza ni nini nyingine inatoka kwa joke.
Joke ni muhimu sana. Very very important.
Very important.
And therefore
na unasema huku dry areas we can also have beehives.
Exactly, yes. What you should do, what you can do when incorporating such a thing in the proposal, of course, nyuki naye hawezi kuishi pahali hakuna maji. Kwa sababu hata kwa ile miti unaipelekea ati ndio waishi na wakue kwa mzinga yako around the beehive. Lazima hang to maji. Kwa sababu of course honey comes from the pollen and the nectar and the maji. So in those wells or in those swamps tunasema tunajaga huko, maji itakuwa hizi kupata.
Hizo water pans
exactly,
you're
yes.
talking about.